Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm Chibi Noob.
And I'm Envy Jitters.
And it's our last month of spookiness, and more importantly, of Demon.
It's me, your boy.
So Demon Month is coming to an end, and time to talk about the last thing we had for demons and devils and hells and whatnot. What did we watch? Watch Hell's Paradise.
Uh-huh.
Sort of I don't know, what's Big Shrimp? Oxymoron? Is that what it is?
What?
The
Yes.
thing where it's like a thing, but it's also describing the other thing and they're opposites? Like Big Shrimp?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's an oxymoron.
I'm an oxymoron. Okay, so Hell's Paradise. So, where were the demons?
I was also wondering that, but I'm assuming it's probably some of the creatures that we saw at the end of episode 3, if not something that we're going to meet later.
Yeah, episodes 1 to 2 and most of 3 were getting to the island, and then episodes 4 to 12 is on the island with the creatures and the demons.
I see. So, no demons yet, unless we want to count the demons that exist within all of us as human beings.
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Metaphorically, there were demons in these first 3 episodes. All of us dealing with those sort of things. So, what's Hell's Paradise about? It's a period piece based in the whatever era. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
Insert correct Japanese feudal period here. I don't know. But Edo? Is it Edo? They mentioned Edo once, but that's also a region, but it was like the name of a period based on who was in control at the time. I don't know. Point
I'll
is,
look it up. Hang on.
there's a shogun. Yeah, look that up. There's a shogunate who is like, hey, I want the Elixir of Life. We think we found an island that has the Elixir of Life on it, but everyone we sent there has not come back, and the only guy who did turned into flowers. So,
Yep.
yeah.
All of them that have come back have turned into flowers.
Yeah. And yeah, so we need to send another expedition there, but maybe let's not send our own people. Maybe let's get some criminals who have been sentenced to death, to go on this this mission. We'll create a squad of some kind. No one's gonna do it?
A suicide squad.
What are we, some kind of suicide squad?
There we go. You're the
Wow.
dead shot for the group now. Congratulations. So, we got a suicide squad full of criminals going to this island to go work for not Amanda Waller. This one's even sillier. It's the shogunate who's a dingus. And each one is, instead of having a bomb in their neck, they got an executioner walking with them to cut their head off if they do something wrong. I'm also you're hiring them to do bad things. You know this, right? Anywho, that's where we're at. We got to the island. At least one of them, probably multiple, are dead, but probably others will be alive. There were some people, there was 10 criminals who went to the island with 10 executioners. We only really got to see lip service for 5 of them, so I'm assuming the ones that died or are dead were not useful, or at least not important enough.
I'm gonna say that some of these might be misdirects.
I think some of them are just Slipknot. You remember him from the Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Neither do I.
There's some canon
No,
fodder.
I remember him because he was died pathetically.
Yeah.
It was the Edo period.
Okay. I got something right.
But I don't know. I feel like they show us these images and then we're gonna be like, oh, they're not gonna come up later. They're gonna come up later.
I'm gonna throw out the one ninja girl. She is not dead. We did not see that sword actually in her body, and I feel they would not have set her up like that to have her kill her off.
Given the main artwork that they have for the anime itself, she is on there, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's fine.
Yeah. I think our first episode.
Yuzahara. Yeah.
Can
she's
confirm she's fine.
Yeah, she fine. Oh, she's also okay. Okay.
Both.
Yeah, so our first episode was basically setting up our main character, Gabby, and he is an emotionless person, except he's not. He loves his wife. He's a wife guy, and he wants to get back to her as best he can, which is difficult when you're on death row for being a murderous assassin.
And it's weird too. It's also wholesome because they were kind of set up in a forced marriage, but then they ended up actually loving each other and seeing the good in each other. It's wow, this is wholesome in its own tragic way.
It is really sweet. I can't wait for them to twist it into something horrible by the end of this show. But yeah.
Yeah.
So it's him and his executioner pal. What is her name?
Sagiri.
Sagiri, whatever it is, yeah. They're going to be buddies. And for once, I'm seeing a guy and a girl on a mission together, and I am immediately thinking, they're not going to try to bait this because he's a wife guy.
Unless something happened to the wife.
Okay, if something happens to the wife, he is done with life. We know
Yes.
this.
Let's stop.
There is a ship for Sagiri in the fandom, but it's not who you think.
Oh?
I don't know that many people in this yet. I'm probably not going to think of them. I know 2 people. And some other people by, like, hey, you have a face. You have a character design that clearly says you're going to be here for a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was our first episode where we are basically setting up, hey, look at the indestructible assassin who wants to die, but no, he doesn't want to die. He wants to see his wife. And then we set up our thing for all the criminals going to the island that turns people into flowers and probably has a bunch of other crazy shit on it. We had a quick little battle royale because there was a bunch of no-names that we had to drop off of here so that we could get the headliners.
Yep.
Usual kind of thing you have in a tournament sort of situation. But then now we're on the island, and now they're also trying to kill each other on the island. But also the island's trying to kill them with weird finger creatures and bees with faces.
Yeah, because we forgot to mention, too, that the shogunate says, whoever brings me the Elixir of Life gets pardoned. So.
Yeah.
And wife guy's like, I'm going to see my wife?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And the thing is that they each have a handler, and each handler handles their own prisoner differently, apparently.
Yep, some are like, yeah, do your thing. Others are like, you follow the rules. Others are like, all right, let's get naked.
Yep.
That happened.
Uh-huh.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens in this, I'll say that. But yeah, so what did you guys think overall? Has anyone seen this already?
Yeah, I watched it when it came out.
Okay.
I watched the first few episodes when it came out, but I've read the manga before.
Okay.
So how are we thinking about as far as like comparison or rewatch type stuff? How's everybody feeling with that?
I loved the manga. I binged it for most of it, and then I caught up and continued, but the manga is such a great experience, and it's a very different experience to me, and I was kind of disappointed by the anime, if I'm going to be honest. I just felt like it just felt uninspired in comparison. There was something about it that very much fell flat to me, and it's difficult to explain why, except I think the characters' emotions don't come across the same. Like, I think Gabamaru comes off more edgy than he does in the manga, and I think Sagiri, like, her emotions and personality don't come off the same to me either, but it's hard to describe. I think they feel different to me in the story. And I just like it better in the manga. I just feel like more subtle things are expressed, and I like the art better. I feel like the art kind of fell short. This wasn't Mappa's best in my opinion. I think the stuff on the island looks really pretty, but there's a lot of kind of sort of stuff in the middle. The battle scenes are cool, but it doesn't consistently look amazing to me, whereas the art in the manga is fantastic. I think if I had watched this without reading the manga, I would have loved it a lot more, and I probably would have finished it. But I think I was so disappointed that I stopped after like I survived like 5 episodes or something when I originally watched it. But I did fall off because I just felt like I'd rather be reading the manga. It was just so much better to me. And I was really anticipating this anime because I loved the manga so much. So I think it was my disappointment that made me not want to continue. Maybe nowadays, like with a little bit more time, I would feel like watching more. Now that I kind of got over the fact that it's not too much like the manga in the kind of vibe and art style, I do think it is very close to the manga in what actually happens. I mean, it's almost scene for scene exactly the same. But it's like, so it stays close to it, but I just feel like there's like a soul to it that's missing. I don't know. It feels a little bit more soulless to me, or just generic in a way that the manga does not feel at all. Like the manga feels very unique and special to me, and it just didn't come across in the anime. But like I said, it's hard to describe because it is truly faithful to the to the story, but not to like the soul of it. I don't know, at least in my opinion. I know some other fans felt similarly, but I think a lot of people like this and some people didn't. But I don't know, I just was disappointed is the best way I can put it.
I'm the exact opposite as you. Now, granted, I didn't read the manga, so I'm coming in as a filthy casual anime only, but I loved it a lot. Like, I loved the animation, I loved the style, and I loved the... I'm not going to say you're wrong, because, you know, you've read the manga, so you have a direct comparison. When I watched it, I thought, wow, I'm actually invested in this world. I've been on stories before where the characters, you only get like a few episodes to get to know them and they feel kind of generic. I grew to love almost all the main characters on the journey, even the characters that you're supposed to technically dislike in the group. So I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm looking forward to season 2 coming out in January.
Yeah, I was enjoying this, honestly. I think part of it is I do like a good battle royale type setup scenario where it's like, all right, we're going to have a bunch of eccentric individuals all trapped in a location together, and they're clearly going to fight. Like, regardless of whether the fight is necessary, they're going to fight. You know? It's going to happen. But, yeah, I think... I will say this. Out the gate, I did enjoy Gabby. He was fun. Like, the whole... He kind of gives me a little bit like Saitama a little bit at the beginning, where he's like, yeah, no, I kind of want to die, but no one seems to know how to kill me. It's like, just sort of bored with life, but it's also like, yeah, but you're living through such intense things. It's like, this means nothing to you, but when it does, but he's also still like... I don't know, there's something fun about the character who's begrudgingly in this, like, horrible yet exciting scenario. And at the very least, it's a good way to
he's also kind of, you know... I'm not saying he's an immortal, but he would be he's very hard to kill. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he's nearly indestructible, at least so far. I'm sure there's going to be some people on the island who are going to give him a run for his money, though. Otherwise, this might get boring. Or the island itself has something that it can, like, fuck him up. I know they mentioned that he's from, like, a ninja clan, and the elder of the clan took in was rumored to take the Elixir of Life of some kind from a thing that he got overseas, and they're like, oh, is this possibly the place where his thing came from? Because he does seem indestructible. Who knows for sure?
Honestly, from the first 3 episodes, I'm kind of intrigued. I think this is a little bit like where a taste thing comes in, like Al's very into the battle royale thing. I'm more into like the supernatural mystery aspect of this show. Mostly just because, like, they're on this island that has essentially been sort of like nature's been taking hold, where, like, the humans are turning into flowers, and we see, like, a bit of that happening with, like, all of the creatures have human faces, and the bugs can sting you, and then, like, anything that it stings will suddenly turn into plants. And just, like, a lot of, like, the creature designs are very interesting. And I'm just sort of interested to see where it goes. Like, I know we have, like, a sort of an ensemble cast, despite the fact that we have 2 essentially deuteragonists. But I am interested. Honestly, like, I feel like in black and white with, like, a different art style, this would probably come off as maybe a little bit more, maybe spooky. Just in sort of terms of vibes, just because this is gonna get kind of freaky really fast. Just from what I can tell from how things are progressing so far. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. I think the characters are, you know, interesting so far. I have a couple, like, a little nitpick about the eyeballs right now. They're doing a bit of, like, weird eyeball focusing art for some of the people, particularly in close-ups, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Mappa, you're better than this.
Everyone does have, like, really distinct eyes in this, I think.
Well, okay, the ones particular examples, the dude with the purple hair that we see in episode 3 when he's talking to Sagiri and Gabby, at some points his eyes are, like, not looking at the same thing. Like, one eye is looking, like, dead on, and then the other one's looking slightly off center, but it doesn't look like they would be, like, looking at the same thing.
Hey, now, he's cross-eyed and he's very sensitive about it. You leave him alone.
He ain't.
I don't know.
I don't know. That was like my only nitpick, is the eye artwork was a little bit funky sometimes, but
Yeah.
I think
otherwise I enjoyed it.
I will say, Yen, going back to what you said about being generic, I mean, yeah, the setup is a little bit generic, and I do agree. Well, I don't agree, but like I can understand if you thought the manga had more personality. I will say, give the second half of the show a lot more credit, because I'm assuming it's a faithful recreation of the manga's artwork, and for me, the animation was really creepy in a good way because of how the monsters and creatures looked in the manga. Like watching the episodes, I'm thinking how the people are going to get out of these situations, because I was legit terrified for how these people were going to survive. So if they were able to capture the same tone of the manga, or at least the general fear, then I think you might enjoy it a little bit more.
Yeah, I think I could tell that they did the adaptation of the designs pretty well for like what we did see of the demons and everything. And since I did watch like about 5 episodes or so, I saw a little bit more in those episodes. And I think it did look really cool. Like, not the same to me, but I think like they did a good job in and of itself. That's why I feel like if I hadn't read the manga, like I said, I feel like I would have had like a totally different experience of it, and I probably would have enjoyed it more. But I think there are probably lots of people who enjoy both like similarly though, so I'm probably like an odd one out. But I don't know, I think they still did really well with the animation, but it just looks and feels different.
Like, how would you describe the difference? Like, is it more spooky? Is it more whimsy? Is it more like, what's more the feeling you get?
I guess it's easier to say, like, I don't know. The anime, to me, the animation looks similar to a lot of other anime. I don't know. Like, it just looks like it could be Dororo, or it could be like a lot of other things. Like, it is Mappa, sure, but it's like, so was Dororo, you know? It's like,
I feel like Dororo very much felt its own thing, but that's me.
But I mean, Dororo looks great, but I mean, like, it's just like,
I kind of feel what you're saying a little
you
bit.
know,
It's a little more baseline as opposed to unique.
Yeah, it's like more baseline.
I also will say that Mappa, when this came out in 2022 or 2023, it was at the same time making 2 other shows, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 and Vinland Saga Season 2. So they were making all 3 shows at the same time, and they were all airing around the same exact time. So maybe they had no choice but to make the animation look samey in a way to other shows, even if they were all good.
They might have cut corners a little bit, but it's like describing the manga, I guess, a little bit. Like I'm looking at some panels to like refresh my memory, but like it utilizes a lot of like kind of thin lines and almost watercolor-esque like black and whites that make it look, you're looking at it right now. It's a bit more
dreamlike.
It's a bit more dreamlike, you know? And I think the dense blacks, like, do help, you know? And then you see scenes like this where he's on the feet, like, does not look different, where he's being burned
does look
up.
I think
it has a more maybe intense look to it.
I think for me, and I know we're mentioning the elements of supernatural stuff, we're mentioning the possibility of creepy things, all that sort of stuff. It didn't necessarily give me the vibe of a supernatural show. It actually gave me more of the vibe of a sci-fi horror action. I was actually getting a little... Do you guys hear about the movie Annihilation? Natalie Portman?
Yeah.
That's what it was giving me.
Look at the difference here.
That is horror right there.
Yeah, look at the difference. That's the flower guy.
That is borderline Junji Ito shit.
But like... It didn't come across that way in the show.
But for the show, it felt like Annihilation, and that sort of feeling of like, okay, here are things that I am familiar with. Here they are warped. But in a way that is almost like I want to study you as opposed to run from you.
I would say that's Annihilation more closer to the book than I would say it is actually closer to the movie. But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if you look up the panel of the guy covered in flowers on the boat.
I'll include it.
Yeah, include the panel. Like, it'll show you kind of what I mean. There's so much, like, careful detail in the art in the manga. And like he said, like, almost like Junji Ito-esque, but not really. Like, I wouldn't consider it fully that way. But it's like, it looks twisted like that. And it just, like, you can tell so much went into, like, even just this one panel, you know?
Yeah, but it's like, this is so weird to say. It's a different kind of dread.
Yeah.
That felt like supernatural dread.
Different vibe.
This feels like a science fiction cosmic dread, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I didn't get that much dread from it. I don't know.
It's not a lot of dread out the
I
gate.
got action from it.
The action tends to take away the dread because you know that the characters can do something about it. But if I was to compare sort of the elements that we got working here, it feels more cosmic as opposed to supernatural. Because it feels like it's otherworldly as opposed to haunting, I guess.
Not necessarily, but that's just because, to me, this is something that is from Earth. I would not describe this as color out of space.
I would
describe this as something that it comes from within.
No, I hear you. I actually remember we watched this and I had said to you, oh, they're entering the Feywild. That's kind of more of what I'm talking about here. Like, the Feywild is a terrifying place in gaming, Dungeons and Dragons and all that sort of stuff. It's not necessarily, like, spooky all the time.
I would... depends.
It depends, but general Feywild kind of thing, it's very alien as opposed to supernatural.
Well, I guess for me, when we're talking about the fair folk, I guess for me, I generally tend to think more along the lines of we're a bunch of walking sticks that disguise ourselves in human skins. So that, to me, is what that is. That's less sci-fi, more folklore horror kind of deal.
I think I'm kind of thinking of it from more the like modern game kind of interpretation, like the D&D, or like if you watch Legend of Vox Machina or something like that. They had that on the Amazon. Yeah.
I guess because I like read a lot of like folklore horror books. That's kind of where my brain goes. You
probably have a much better idea of it than I do in more of the traditional sense.
I also was sort of into fairies back in high school, so that probably also leans more into that.
I was into dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some sort of dinosaur on this island.
Dinosaur-esque.
That would be pretty cool. I'm just gonna say.
Guys, it'll be a T-Rex, but it'll have actually normal-sized arms.
Oh my god, now that's scary.
I will say, like I mentioned earlier, the designs of the monsters later on in the season are creepy, and they are unique. Well, I mean, I guess unique's a strong word, because I'm sure there's some creatures that are similar, but I just don't know a lot of creatures, so they looked unique to me.
I think.
Did we not just see some person with a fish head and like 6 different arms?
There was that. There was the giant with the baby arms coming out of his eyes. There was the bees with the human faces. The centipedes with the finger teeth. That was, I think, the creatures very much were what was reminding me of like the Annihilation kind of thing of like, okay, we are taking things that we're fusing them with things that they should not be fused with, and they're moving around in ways that they should not be. And that's kind of where that went for me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of weird shit if I'm going to continue this. I mean, it's called Hell's Paradise. We're going to get some hell in here.
Yeah.
Demons?
Demons.
I mean, I'm thinking this is more like hell on earth.
Yeah. Or hell is other people.
But it is paradise.
And not to spoil much, but I will say this. Not every monster that you'll see is unintelligent. They're not all mindless. There are some that talk. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so it's either the island denizens and we should not be invading this place, or it's the people from the expeditions who are now living a torturous existence as mutant creatures. Or both. I did not see the little pink-haired girl and her Groot friend amongst the criminals, so I have to assume she's from the island.
I will spoil that and say yes.
Yeah, no, I was not going to spoil it. That's right there in the opening. There was not a plant man in prison. Therefore, he must be from island.
Yes, but another way to look at the island is that it is a worm cake.
Oh, dear.
A worm cake?
Please explain.
Yeah, it looks amazing and delicious on the outside, and then when you cut into it, it's just a pile of worms.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that analogy before.
Gross.
I've used it on this podcast. I've used it before.
I like that Gabby immediately was like, everyone else is like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. He's like, it's creepy as hell. None of these things should be together. Like, you're looking at that, like, I do like it that in subtle ways, we're told very quickly that he is a deadly assassin and he's unstoppable, all this sort of stuff. But it is nice to see like skill sets that are like, well, yeah, you don't think about an assassin, their knowledge about flora and fauna, but like, where do you think poison comes from? Most of them come from plants that you're going to use. You also want to know different things about like how to get places. Like, he probably has like so many skills that he's just built up over time that like nobody thinks about, but are probably really necessary to it. And I am looking forward to that a little bit. I'm hoping we get little things like
He
that.
rolled a nat 20 in nature.
Oh yeah, this does feel like a D&D campaign a little bit. But I could say that about most action shows, so it's you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come up with something later from the players at home. I don't know.
I've seen shows where it actually takes place in a D&D universe, so I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think we need to maybe get away from the game. You know what? This is a conversation for later, but the isekai thing really needs to get away from the video game sort of like aspect and just straight up go back to here's real full-on high fantasy kind of stuff. We see it occasionally, but not often enough in my opinion.
Well, the meta nowadays for anime isn't even so much isekai; it's just regular adventure party slop. Like
Yeah,
it's just,
but
I'm a level 10 hero
Yeah.
with a broken with a broken bust, or I'm chilling. I got kicked from the party, but I have an OP skill or something like
yeah,
that.
and it's the thing that it's like, okay, you're still just using the same video game stuff. And I don't either be a video game or don't be a video game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Side thing over. This show clearly is not going to have video game elements like that, and I'm happy about it. That being said, we do have a very OP character. How do we feel about that? Well, I think part of it's going to depend on how OP everyone else is. Maybe. But I am hoping he's going to struggle a little bit in some of these fights.
I don't want to say anything because I've seen the full season, so I know what happened. So I don't want to say anything.
You did watch you do watch a lot of stuff to the end just to see the end, but like, it does seem like I'm guessing from your overall tone, it will be interesting to watch.
Yes, like there are some moments I thought were a little strange even for me, which is why I didn't fully I rated it a 9 on Mal out of 10. Where like there were some moments in episodes I thought weren't as good as the rest, but yeah, the overall tone and goal of the show I think is kind of unique, and the way that it ends with season 1, it's very interesting, and it's not that long of a manga either. It only has 13 volumes, so they could wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they could in theory wrap up the whole story in season 2.
I mean, hey, maybe that would be good. Nice little 26 episode story.
Yeah.
We don't get a whole lot of those anymore. Doesn't feel like.
But yeah, I will say that Gabimaru is not 100% invincible. He does have a challenge, or a few, later on in the show.
Good. At the very least, he was aware that what's-her-face could kill him in that moment, I guess.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Him and Sagari, their relationship, I'm sure you probably don't need me to spoil it, but they do get along a lot more as this season goes along. Like Sagari starts off, you should be dead right now. Why am I stuck with you? And as the show goes on, they do bond, and they do.
I never got that sense. Yeah, I mean, it almost felt like she picked him to go with her. Like, I don't know necessarily how they decided on a whole like which criminals were going to be which, but it did kind of feel like this was a recruitment for her.
Well, the executioners are on a ranking system, and basically she was ranked 12th, and so like basically it's a prejudice thing of how dare you want to become an executioner when you're a woman, and so she basically had to prove herself to get up to the upper echelon of that group.
Yeah, I got that. But between the two of them, between her and Gabby, I never got the sense that she was like, oh, you should be dead, like she hates him. I feel more like she's like, this is my job, you are my charge, you are to be alive until you shouldn't be anymore. So it's like, yeah, man, do your thing. I don't think she resents it. Like, I think at the very least, I do like the element of, as like someone who's in that position that she's in, she has a healthy, like, detachment from the individual. She still is dealing with a lot of stuff, though, with, like, the actual burden of taking lives and stuff like that, which Gabby is also dealing with, though he seems to be coping a lot better than she is at this point. I'm assuming that's going to be one of the... They're just going to trauma bond over how many people they've had to put down. Which,
they do trauma bond later on, I will say that.
Yeah.
And some of the side characters, it like like I mentioned earlier, some of the side characters, because they're hardened criminals, you shouldn't like them because they're technically not good people, but yet it's one of those situations where you can't help but not like them. Like, they're so charming.
Dude, a good villain is a good villain. What are you gonna do? It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of them are awful people. But we're gonna be like, you are fun when you are on screen.
Yeah.
I think at least one person's been eaten so far on this island. So, trying to think. How many people are going to have, like, superpowers? Because Gabby has the ability to set himself on fire.
I don't want to spoil that.
Oh, you're not going to tell me what's up with that? He was like, you want to see some ninjutsu? Light yourself on fire.
There's some interesting stuff.
Very much in the school of Naruto ninjutsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil that.
Shit's about to get wild.
There's some cool fights, yeah.
We thought we were going to the alien island. Turns out we were the aliens all along.
Mm-hmm.
I can also say that whoever wrote, I forget the guy's name who wrote this, but I can definitely tell he was an assistant from Taji Fujimoto, the Chainsaw Man author, because they both love to create wacky looking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like me a bit of wacky stuff. It's fun.
Same thing with the other guy that created Don, because Don has some weird ass stuff in it too.
You know, I haven't seen that one
really
yet,
does.
and I think I need to.
Yeah, I keep saying y'all should watch it.
I feel like I'm probably the
It's
only one
got
who
some
hasn't.
stuff that is a bit uncomfy, but you should watch it.
And then there's the guy that created Spy Family, and he hates Spy Family, but he knows that it's popular, so he's doing it anyway.
Oh no, I didn't know he
My
hated it.
God.
Oh yeah, he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna make the most none of my other manga are selling. What do you people want? You know what? I'm gonna make the most generic crap, and it's gonna sell." And then it sold. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
He reminds
Now he's
me.
stuck.
Honestly, he reminds me of I forget who the name of the composer is, but in the Hall of the Mountain King.
Yeah.
Yeah, also wrote that because he's like, people have terrible taste. I'm gonna write this garbage and people are gonna eat it up. It's his most popular composition, and he hated it.
Yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but the author kind of said that, I don't connect with the characters that I made. So, like, he doesn't really like Anya, Lloyd, and Yor, but yet he still writes for them anyway.
Wow.
Hey man, writers gotta eat.
Yeah.
True. It's really true.
He's making his money.
Yeah, he's just gonna be like, fuck it. If this is what I gotta do, this is what I gotta do. You know
I wonder
what?
what his other stuff was like.
I feel like I need to check it out. I want to see what he,
because
like
he likes.
Ultimately, the thing of like being a creator is like, on some level, you have to make things that you like. Otherwise, why would you make it? So I'm almost like wondering, what is it that he wanted to put into the world that now he has to be like, well, now I got to pay the bills, so I got to put out this crap.
Right. Curious.
Honestly, I feel like more like a sci-fi spy thriller would have been something that would have been interesting to read, but...
Maybe he hates all of it.
Maybe. Maybe he wanted to write horror instead. I don't know.
We'll have to look it up.
I'm looking at him now. This is off topic.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts on Hell's Paradise and whatnot?
The opening was a bop, but it was probably the most unique bop I've ever heard. I don't think I've ever heard a song sound like that before.
It's
at
so
least
good.
At least not as much, because, like, granted, I'm not the biggest expert when it comes to music, so I can't really describe what makes a song unique or good, but when I heard it, I was like, damn, I've never heard an anime opening song that sounds like this before.
Yeah, so I'm going to get some hate for this. We just watched it. I don't remember what it sounded like.
Oh no, it's
No.
really good.
Had
It's
nothing.
really
Just
good.
did not have any impact on me. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Can also say the same.
Yeah.
I did listen to it like all 3 times.
All 3 times. I watched the opening and ending on all 3 of these episodes barely an hour ago.
Oh.
I don't remember any of them. I remember some of the visuals.
Same.
That's about it.
I love the opening.
Yes.
Hey, sometimes it hits, sometimes it don't.
Mhm.
Blade Moon Princess.
Blade Moon Princess, name alone sounds pretty interesting.
That's the Spy Family guy's other work. It does look different. I can say
I
that.
want to see this. Wait a minute. Hang on.
Yeah, look it up.
Blade of the Moon Princess.
All things considered, I can kind of see a little bit of his art style
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
It's very different, but it's still like, okay, I can tell that's you.
Oh.
It looks kinda cool.
Oh, that is interesting.
Maybe it's a hidden gem. Or maybe it's garbage. We have no idea.
Was it canceled?
I don't know. It only had like 5 volumes.
It probably didn't sell.
No.
I think, again, his whole thing was like, people will eat a bunch of crap, but they won't like look at something actually good. And then he made what he thought was crap. So maybe this is actually not very good, and like he just has a really skewed perspective. I have no idea. Or maybe it's amazing and everyone completely slept on it.
I think it's on Viz. So.
It is.
You know what? Check it out, and then next week let us know. Can you do that for me? At least take a look at a couple. If you can find it, take a look at a couple of it and see where was the guy who made Spy X Family right. All right, anything else to say about Hell's Paradise?
Nope.
Okay. I think overall here I'm a light yay. I'm hesitant, but I think I might like this show and I would like to continue it. I'm not going to give it a full yay because I can see it maybe going downhill, but also maybe not. Sort of just reserve you know what? I'll give you a few more episodes.
I would say manga is a 9.5 for me. And anime is like a 7.5 to 8, you know? So I'd give it like a high meh to like a light yay. I think it is good, you know? And I think, like I said, if I was completely divorced from the manga that I love so much, I think I'd feel differently. I think I was just feeling let down because I love the manga so much. And it's just a little bit different to me. So I think my expectations were just like sky high. But if I had normal expectations, I think this is really solid. And like I said, it does a great job of adapting like the story beats. I think for the most part, the characters still shine, although I like them a little bit better in the manga. The animation is good, although it's different. Like I said, I still feel like in a standard way, it's good. It just doesn't have like that unique like spark to me that the manga has. So like, yeah, I give it like a 7.5. I think it's like pretty good.
I feel like you almost described a Marvel movie.
I don't mean it like that.
No. It just feels very like that's the kind of comparison. Like, I love the comics so much. The movies are okay.
I'm just a hardcore fan of the manga, all right?
That's how I felt sometimes with comic book movies. It's I really love this story so much. The movie, it's good. It's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. This is passable.
Yeah.
I've heard so many people describe Marvel movies just the way you did. Yeah, it's like a B+.
Yeah,
it ain't
it's
the
a
comic.
solid B+.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Like, there's enough intriguing pieces that I might want to continue if I can finish up all of my books that I'm reading right now.
The eternal struggle.
Listen,
Do you know that I got a whole stack of books on my nightstand that I still have yet to touch? I go to Barnes & Noble sometimes and I'm like, oh, I should get a book. Nope, I have like 15 books I still need to read.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's me, but I still buy the 15 books anyway.
You're a faster reader than me, so you at least are gonna get through your stack.
Yeah, well, I keep adding more books.
At least your stack is moving.
It kinda. It's changing. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I finished the whole season. I loved it, and I'm excited for season 2. So, yeah, it's a yay for me. Just real quick, let me divert for one more second. I'm looking up the synopsis for the Blade of the Moon Princess manga. It's a spin on the Princess Kaguya myth, where it's a spin-off where Kaguya is a heir to the kingdom on the moon. An uprising happens. She's kicked out of the moon, and she's a ninja going on revenge to take back the throne.
What?
I can't tell if that sounds like the stupidest plot or the coolest plot. Someone read it and let me know.
That's different.
So the question stands, was he right?
Yeah.
It has a 6.7 ranking on Mal, so...
That's not great.
Yeah.
No. And then he had another manga series. It was called Tista.
Okay.
And it, I guess, follows the girl named Tista Rockwell and her work as an assassin for a religious extremist group.
Okay, so he does work in a particular wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He basically said, fine, I still want to involve murder in my stories, but I'll make the murder family friendly.
Right.
You know what? Good on him for realizing that he could do that.
Second part of the plot summary is after she meets a man named Artie, she begins to see the hypocrisy of her organization and attempts to leave.
Okay.
And that was from 2007 to 2008.
Wow.
All right.
A year.
Well, we got some reading to do, but
Yes,
more
we do.
importantly, we got a whole new month ahead of us, everybody.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yep.
So this is one that we've been thinking about for a while. There's no real transition between this and the next one. I just wanted to look at some of these because I like them and they're fun, but we gotta somehow include it into the anime yay or nay sort of theme. So here's the thing, anime getting a lot bigger over here, especially in the last couple of years. But you know what else is big? Japan likes some of our cartoons. Did you know that? I hope you did. So we're gonna be watching some shows that are big in Japan. Some just stuff that's just like, yeah, it over there, they liked it. They liked it a lot. What else we gotta start with? But the greatest American cartoon of all time, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna be watching a couple episodes of SpongeBob. Here's the thing. I also tried to find them in Japanese, but finding them in Japanese with English subtitles, very difficult. So I wasn't able to do that. I did find some clips, so we're gonna be able to watch a little bit of that, but we're mostly just gonna be watching the SpongeBob episodes. We're also gonna be taking a look at Powerpuff Girls, Tom and Jerry, and okay, let's be real. According to Japan, this is the greatest American cartoon ever made, King of the Hill. Because of course.
For whatever reason, King of the Hill is like extremely popular. I mean, granted, King of the Hill is a very good
It's basically
show.
like a seinen slice of life.
Yeah, it
No?
is. Japan keeps exporting their high school teen dramas to us, and we export to them our middle-aged Texas people slice of lives. I don't know. It's weird, but it makes so much sense on some level. So we're gonna be checking those out. We're gonna probably I don't think I was gonna need to find any Japanese clips of Tom and Jerry because there's barely any actual dialogue in it. But yeah, we're gonna be looking at the episodes primarily in English. I'm gonna try to find a couple clips here and there in Japanese to see at least, what does it sound like when they're watching it dubbed. At the very least, I gotta find some King of the Hill clips dubbed. If I can find a whole episode, I will. But yeah, that's what we'll be doing. I'm looking forward to this, if for no other reason than to just get silly. We're gonna get silly next month.
I mean, 3 out of the 4 of those shows were like a part of my childhood, so.
Yep. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoy this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!